Rebuild, a Fins podcast with Ty and Cass.
The unofficial start of the new league year began today, March 9th at 12 p.m. Eastern, and the Miami Dolphins maybe made the splash of the day. Welcome to the Rebuild. I am your host today, Tyler. Joining me on today's episode is Cass to give me full in-depth reaction. Cass, how are we doing today?
Man, I'm feeling good. Last time we'll have to talk about Tua. Not only did we get rid of him, we got Malik Willis in the same day.
We did. And before we get into all the crazy action that went down, so much for a quiet free agency period for the Miami Dolphins. Before we get started, go ahead and follow us on Twitter at Rebuild the Fins. Also, scan that QR code on your screen. We'll bring you directly to our YouTube channel. Go ahead and like and subscribe. We appreciate it. We're getting a lot more views, a lot more interactions with the fans. So we appreciate all the support. But Cass, let's get into it. It's been a crazy day. I want to kind of just give an overview to the fan base. Obviously, I'm sure everyone's well aware, but the first thing this morning, they broke the news. Tua Tagovailoa released post June 1st, which was expected. But I think once that news kind of came out, it kind of set in that we're going to have a new quarterback leading the way. But what was your initial reaction? Again, we knew that was coming, but kind of what did you feel like when that news was we knew it was official that he was not on the team anymore?
I honestly did not think they were going to buy him out. So I was happily surprised because I think they just, cut ties early. Money is what it is, and you just move on. So I was happily surprised. It happened early. And I thought initially I was like, oh, okay, well, they're going to lean into someone in the draft. So I was like, we'll look forward to that. But then later on, got the news. Well, First, what was your reaction for the early morning?
Yeah, I love Tua, to be honestly. My kids love Tua. I had to explain to them this morning that he is no longer the quarterback. They're like, oh, where's Tua going? I said, well, he's going to be on another team, guys. We'll have to be rooting for someone else. Unbeknownst to me, that person is, we'll get to, obviously, we're all well aware who that is. But, the Tua thing, he had a lot of highs and lows. It was a overall great 6 years. He gave us 2 great seasons where we felt like we can compete. And, unfortunately, the injuries and stuff just didn't work out. Obviously, was expected. I did not think that they would be able to trade him. Obviously, we expected the post-June 1st and kind of splitting up that $99 million dead cap. I think it was 63 or 67 this upcoming year, and then the remaining in 2027. So that kind of got the day started. And then the next big news that came out, which again was expected, but initially when this happened, I said, wait a minute, we're only getting a 7th-round pick for Minkah Fitzpatrick to the New York Jets. I said, well, that don't seem right. But then I started thinking why they ended up doing that. So what was your reaction of Minkah getting traded and kind of basically let go for nothing?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, hey, they're cooking something. They're trying to get cap space.
Yep.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, and as soon as, when I initially thought when I started realizing, okay, Minkah got traded to the Jets were willing to take on that entire contract.
Mm-hmm.
We created about $10 million or so of cap space for them to make their play, which is obviously the Malik Willis. But I initially thought of you when we talked, when they had in the draft combine and their initial interviews, a lot of those smoke screen things we talked about.
I told you.
They weren't hyping up Malik. They said they liked him, but whatever it was. But it kind of seemed that from all along, Malik Willis was their guy, and they kind of went and did things kind of quietly. And then obviously the news broke about 12:30 Eastern time or so. I was actually in the bowling alley and I told my wife, I said, listen, if I get this spare right here, Malik Willis is coming to the Dolphins. I hit the spare, and literally seconds later, the news broke. So
look at that. It's all thanks to you.
It's official. Malik Willis on a 3-year deal. He is the next quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. 3 years, $67.5 million, $45 million guaranteed. Essentially, the deal is really 2 years because in 2026, he's only guaranteed just over $1 million. And then in 2027, he's getting the $21.5 million fully guaranteed. He also got a $22.5 million signing bonus, when he signs his contract on Wednesday. And then in 2028, there's no guaranteed money. So there's an out for the Miami Dolphins. So in reality, this is a fantastic team-friendly deal that allows the Dolphins to do their plans in 2027. We'll see what Malik's going to be, but what was your reaction that we got him and that was the big move today?
Yeah. So first, I'll say you were right. That's the guy they were going after. I was saying it wasn't going to happen, so you were right. I had to say that, but I will say I am liking how Sully is operating. Smoke and mirrors, operating the shadows. He's not out there just being super transparent and calling off his moves. So good for them. I was excited to get Malik because I felt like we didn't have a quarterback. I didn't really like any of the quarterbacks. Maybe Green was the only one I was really excited about. So it's nice to have him here. And the contract's super friendly, so no issues there. I almost think like, hey, maybe they're not interested in a full blown rebuild. Maybe they're just.
That was my exact thought, dude.
Yeah, so maybe it's like, hey, Waddle, HN, you're going nowhere. We're gonna get Malik. Bring in like our offensive line did decent last year, especially with like offensive line is fine, especially for like open up holes for HN and stuff. Like I think our offensive line is okay.
Yeah, we have two centerpieces on the O-line, Patrick Paul and Aaron Brewer, which by the way, Aaron Brewer was the center in Tennessee with Malik Willis. So there's some, they know each other, which is nice.
So I actually think on the offensive end, we're going to be fine. The defensive end, that's where I think we're going to lean heavy into the draft. And I know we'll get into that later, but I actually am pivoting from this being a full-blown rebuild to like, hey, we might be relevant in like a year or two. Like I'm feeling optimistic.
Yeah, the other move they just made recently in the last couple hours was they re-signed Greg Dulcich, the tight end, for a 1-year deal, who actually had a very productive season when Darren Waller went out. So that's nice. I think he definitely proved that he runs hard. He's a good tight end. I think he'll hopefully thrive a little bit better in this offense with Malik. But yeah, my reaction, I was stoked. I mean, this is the guy I wanted from day one since we started this and kind of knew that this is a real possibility. I just think that his upside, he's young. He brings so much athleticism on the field. That's something that we have not had in a very, very long time. But I agree with you. Like, I think offensively, Devon Achane and Jalen Waddle are not going anywhere unless some team just completely overblown you with like multiple first-round picks or things that are like, there's no way you would say no to. But they're not moving those guys. Like, when you sign Malik Willis, you're telling the fan base, you're telling the organization, you're telling the team that we're going to try to win here. Now, will it be done? That's obviously, we're going to have to wait and see. But the intention is we're not going out here to try to tank for Arch Manning. That's not happening. Yeah. Okay. I agree with you. Offensively, you have two superstar, quote unquote, superstar weapons in Jalen Waddle and Devon Achane. We know those two guys are really good. They're top echelon in their positions, of course. They have two cornerstone linemen in Aaron Brewer and Patrick Paul. Hopefully, the old lineman they drafted last year. I blanking on his name on how to say it, but the old lineman from Arizona that struggled. Hopefully, he takes a step. And then, again, defensively, that is where I think, in terms of the draft, like you mentioned, at pick 11, they're taking the best available defensive player, whether that is cornerback, defensive line, safety, I guess, if, Caleb Downs is there. Like, they're taking the best available defense, and they're going to start trying to building that side of the ball. And hopefully Hafley kind of gets the best out of that crew. And obviously, these second-year guys that we brought in last year. So I think it was a fantastic move. I think Malik Willis brings a ton of hope, but, it's a wait and see. We're going to have to find out.
Yeah, it's a wait and see. I'm really, again, it's highly unlikely next season we're going to be competing, right? Anything could happen. I mean, the Patriots just got to the Super Bowl. They had no business being, there. But I will say, I think this severely cuts down our rebuild time, which I'm excited about. And if we go defense heavy in draft and things work out, like we might be cooking. We might be cooking. But this will be the last time. I know Tua is your boy. Last time we talk about Tua. So how do you like him going to Atlanta for a year?
Yeah, I think honestly, that happened very quickly. That seemed like that was the spot that he wanted to go back, with Stefanski and obviously Michael Penix Jr. coming off injury, another lefty. I mean, they're going with the lefty quarterbacks, but I think for him, that division the location. They're a dome team. The Saints are a dome team.
Yeah.
Carolina's a weather team. Like, that makes a lot of sense. Like, it's a division that is winnable. He can start, right? Because we don't know what Michael Penix is going to be.
Mhm.
They have a ton of weapons there. Like, I think it's a good fit. Now, we all know the problems with Tua is, can he stay healthy? He's not mobile at all. Neither is Michael Penix. So they kind of have that in common. Kirk Cousins last year, not mobile at all. So, but they have weapons. But I think for him, that is a good spot. What do you think?
I think it's a good spot. I don't know if he's going to have an impact. I honestly think Tua should just retire. Like, with all the issues with the concussions, I'm being for real. I think you should just retire, man. You're getting your money. Like, there's really no need for you to put on the helmet after this, you know? But if you do want to play, I think if they wanted you there, and I think that's a big part of where Tua was going to go. If someone wanted him, then like, yeah, I'm going to go there.
Yeah.
I don't think there were many places that actually wanted him. So, I wish him luck. We'll see how it turns out. That division is very weak. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think, again, he definitely, he has weapons there. I mean, you're going there, you got Bijan, you got Pitts, you got guys. Like, there's no excuses. And again, that division is winnable. You don't need to win 12, 13 games, most likely, to win that division. So it's definitely winnable. And we wish them the best, but we're on to, hopefully better and new things in the Miami side. And the Malik Willis dynamic thing is just, I'm just itching at the mouth, foaming at the mouth to see how this looks. Devon and him with the read option. I mean, man, that's going to be tough to stop.
Yeah. No, I agree. We'll see. I'm excited.
So now that Malik is signed, we still have obviously holes on offense. I think that they need to get another receiver to pair with Jalen Waddle. Now, I do want to mention Malik Washington a little bit. I am a big fan of Malik Washington.
Yeah.
I thought last year when Tyreek Hill got hurt that he was going to take that next step and kind of be that Jarvis Landry type, because that's who he reminds me of, is the Jarvis Landry. He runs hard. He's tough to tackle. He's got yards after catch, capabilities. But it seems like we're going to be going for a receiver, whether it's draft or in the free agency market. I wanted Kendrick Bourne, who actually just signed with the Arizona Cardinals. He's a little bigger of a receiver. He's had some good years in New England and the 49ers and whatnot. But what do you think? What do you think the next move is? Do you think they try to get a receiver in free agency if possible?
Yeah, so I would like to see Washington take that next step, and like I'm a little surprised he didn't. Like, Waddle stepped up when Reek was out, But so I agree with you there. I would say I have a player in mind, and I think he's available. I don't know what the price is, but it sounds good to me if they feel good. And I don't know if you pull this trigger now or you wait until the season goes on. But what's his name? Brian Thomas from the
I like it.
Jags.
Yes.
I like it. He's not even expensive for the next few years either.
He's on a rookie deal.
Go
ahead. I'll jump in. I like that a lot too.
Yeah. So I like that a lot. He's not expensive. He's young. You're trying to get a young team. See what the price tag is. Pretty sure we can meet it. We got a little some. And
we would have to give him
just
a
as long
draft
as the exit price isn't too high. Like, I don't want to give up a lot for him, but I would be willing to give up a little bit. But also, if we don't go out and get him, I would say let's just draft someone, probably second, third round, because I think we're going to go defense first round. So
no, I like the Brian Thomas Jr. Play, and I just saw a report that the Jags are looking to move him. He's still on his rookie deal. He's got 2 years left in that deal. Hey, we have three third round picks, this year.
Yeah. Do
we use one of those third round picks and try to go get him? He's very young. He had a great rookie season, some issues last year, but yes, I like that a lot. I do.
I hope, like I said, and this is why I said we have a little some, right? You said we had the three. We have our first. We have our second and three first, right?
Three thirds. Yep. Yeah. I keep saying first two. Yeah, thirds. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we do have our first and second, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, the reason I said we have a little some is only because some of the players we let go, some players we traded, I felt like we could have got a little bit more, and that little bit more would have mattered for getting a guy like him. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. We're here right now. I don't think we're in a bad place. In perfect world, we probably could have been in a little better place. But I like the idea of going to get him. I think that makes sense.
I like that too. I like that too. Yeah. What would they want to give up? That obviously I wouldn't, first or second, of course not, first, no way. Second, maybe is that what the Jags want for him? I don't know. He had a really good, rookie season, obviously, but we do have, I agree. I think they're going to take a receiver in the third round. So do you like that person better than Brian Thomas for that same value of what you would be giving up?
Exactly.
That's obviously on Sully, but we need another receiver to pair with Jalen Waddle. We just do, because Malik Washington is like a Swiss Army knife type. Like he's not going to be on the out. He's going to be in the slot. He's going to kind of do those hard runs, hard kind of in breaking routes. Like we need someone on the outside that's a bigger receiver that has speed, and Brian Thomas kind of fits that mold. So I do like that. That would be sick if we did that.
Yeah, that would be good.
But on the draft side,
yep.
Again, I think the first pick, no hands down, is whether they trade back or whatever they do. They're taking best available defense. Maybe even the first two picks, they're taking the best D.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah,
because that, to me, like I said, the offense on paper with Malik and now obviously Achane and Waddle, like to me that screams like that's pretty exciting stuff to watch. Like I'm excited to watch this offense again.
Yeah, we have a new offensive coordinator too. So we don't know what we're going to get out of him as well. So I think you give him weapons, which it seems like we're doing, and especially if you had Brian Thomas Jr., then like, hey, I'm excited to see it too. I'm excited about the draft. I'm excited to see where we're going with the offense, and we'll see. Now I'm not excited about our schedule, but
our schedule is our schedule is tough. So I'm not saying to the Dolphin fans that we're winning the AFC East or anything like crazy, but I wanted to, speaking of that, because excuse me, my voice is going a little bit, but I keep seeing on Twitter
Malik Willis. That's
dude, it was a fun day once that happened. But I keep seeing on Twitter, once we signed Malik, like, oh, here we go again, the same old Dolphins, 6 and 10, 6 and 11, 7 and 10, whatever, kind of in the middle of the pack. And I'm trying to explain to people, like, there's a difference of the last couple years when we've been middle of the pack to where we are now. There is no expectation for this team.
Yeah.
We're projected to win 2-3 games or 4 games, I think it was. So if this team goes and wins 6, 7, 8 games and we're in the middle of the pack, that tells me that Malik Willis is that guy. Like, we found our quarterback. Because last year or the year prior, when we had Tyreek and Tua and Waddle, and we spent all this money, Teron, like, our expectation was to win the division, and we still kind of were in the middle of the pack. We have no expectations this year.
Yeah, I mean, our expectation was go to Super Bowl, not just the division.
No, I know, but there's a difference when a team has no expectation and they finish middle of the, like the Detroit Lions are a great example. The year before they went off, they won like 8 or 9 games, like. But it was like you can tell that they're ascending up.
Yeah.
Whereas like the last 2 years with the Dolphins, we were supposed to be that like top echelon team, and we didn't make those expectations. Yeah. Now we have no expectation. We are supposed to be in the rebuild. This podcast is called The Rebuild. Like, we're not supposed to be winning. But if we go out with Malik and company and we win 6, 7, 8 games and we're competitive, that tells me that this rebuild is not going to be 3, 4, 5 years. This might be year 2 when we're starting to actually win 10, 11, 12 games with Malik Willis.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So I know the Dolphin fans are split on this, but I just think that there's too much hope with him. Like, there's things that we have not seen on the field with his athletic ability and being able to do things, stretch the field. Really now the defenses have to guard all blades of grass on defense, because we have a quarterback now who can run, and I don't want people to think that this guy's like Lamar Jackson in the beginning where all he did was run. That's not what Malik Willis is. You saw him in Green Bay. The guy understands defenses. He knows how to throw down the middle of the field.
Yeah.
But he's incorporating his legs, and that just makes you so dynamic on offense.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. So, like, really, the only thing we have to risk is money. Like, so what do we care? Like, if it's just cap space, and we can shed that contract easy if we need to.
It's only 2 years. It's 2 years.
It's 2 years. So, it's not a bad contract.
Yeah.
It's not like we had to trade for him to give up draft picks or anything like that.
Yep.
And like, worst case scenario, then they just are bad and we get high draft picks.
Yes.
Best case scenario is you found a guy that you can rebuild around. You got a competent enough quarterback, and you can focus on the other positions.
Yes,
And I
exactly.
think that, but I get like the fans' apprehension about him because it's the same as mine. Like I've seen the guy limited amount. He hasn't really. He's shown flashes, but like, is this really our guy? So I get why people are kind of hesitant to be excited about it. But I think we got him. This is where we're at now. We're a better team than we were yesterday, and that says a lot. So I
And
think we have to support him. You know, we have to believe until he shows us he's not that guy. And listen, it's year one, so expectations should not be super high with it.
right.
You know, new team, new coaches, new GM, everything, right? We're going to get a bunch of rookies in there that are probably going to start. So there's going to be a lot of bumps, but I'm just looking for like, all right, well, what can we carry into the next season
Yeah.
about like improving on, and do we have the right pieces in place? Because quarterback's one of those that's super hard to find. So I'm excited. I'm excited. And plus, hey, when like we got what Reek was the top free agent. No, we traded for Reek.
We traded for Reek, but we got, Tehran was that big splash signing that that was one of the big moves.
How long ago was that?
That was Mike's first year. That was their first move they made to get Tehran on the O-line. Here's the thing.
That 4 years?
That was I don't quote me. 3 or 4 years. Yeah,
3 or 4 years. And then before that, when did we get a big free agent?
We always went after free agent. Like that was never like we got Ndamukong Suh back in the day. Here's the thing.
But I'm saying there's big gaps, right? For us to be in a quote unquote rebuild and to get like the top free agent QB, that's something to be excited about too.
Well, again, that's what I always say about the Miami Dolphins. I don't care how bad we are. I don't care about whatever's going on. The Miami Dolphins are, it's not like, for me, I'm a Chicago Bulls fan, right? You would think that they're a huge destination for free agencies. No one goes there. The Miami Dolphins do not have that problem. People want to be in Miami for whatever right or wrong reasons. Miami is always in play. That's why anytime a big name trade or whatever, Miami is somehow always linked to these players because it's Miami. People want to be there. But I wanted to touch on a point you said. Don't take for granted that relationships in the NFL matter. Malik Willis knows Jeff Hafley very well. They worked together every day when he was the scout team quarterback. Obviously, he knows Sully. Malik Willis wanted to be in Miami. All these other teams, the New York Jets, the Arizona Cardinals, bullshit. He did not want to go there. I don't care. They probably made offers or they did not. It was Miami no matter what. John Eric Sullivan, that was the move. He keeps talking about, competition. But when it comes to quarterback, you got to get the guy that you feel convicted about. And if that is Malik Willis, we have to, as a fan base, we needed to support this. Now, again, if it's wrong, we're going to be on him. But we have to at least be on the same page that the two guys that are making the decisions are all in on this guy, and we need to support him. And he brings a dynamic, like I've said many times, that we have not seen at least in my lifetime. I don't think we've ever had a dynamic quarterback. Like Ryan Tannehill was not that. Like this guy's dynamic. So it's going to be interesting, All
right, 2 questions for you. Are you getting a Malik Willis jersey? And how old is he?
Malik? So 100% I am getting his jersey. Like I'm on NFL Shop as soon as Wednesday hits, because officially he'll sign his contract on Wednesday. So 100% getting a jersey. And then how old is he? He's 26. I think he'll be 27 in May, I want to say. So he's young. He's a young quarterback.
Still young. That's my point. Still young. So even if we are still in a rebuild, we have a guy that's 27, about to be 28 for the next
he's
2
20.
years.
He's 26 now. He'll be 27 in May.
So
this season he'll be 27. Yep.
We still have him for the next 2 years. It's a good place to be, guys. It's a good place to be.
Yes. And to go off your other point regarding the plans in 2027, if nothing is changing, Dolphin community, nothing is changing. We are going to draft a quarterback this year. Now, what I think happens with the quarterback playing 26 for the draft is I don't think we're going to take one in the 3rd round, which may be Aller or Green. I think Green's a little later, but like Aller might be in that 3rd round. I don't know if we go for that. We're probably going to go for a 4th or 5th round pick. Now that we have Malik, we know that is our starter. You have Quinn Ewers. You'll draft someone. Excuse me.
Green might be there.
Maybe. We'll see. He is ascending with his combine results, but in 2027, we are drafting the quarterback. Like Malik Willis would only be having that 1 year left where we're guaranteed money. So
yeah,
whatever happens, whether we win ball games or we don't, we're going to be in a good spot one way or the other, because we'll have our 2027 availability. Or if we're winning, we found a quarterback. Like, this is great things for us.
yeah.
So, what else? What else has got you excited?
Listen, it's funny. It just brought me joy. It shouldn't bring me joy, but like the people of Atlanta are like so hot at the Falcons. I don't know if you've seen this on social media.
I saw.
They're so mad. They're screaming, "Sell the team!" Like they're so mad. Like I don't know what they're doing with their QB position. I don't even know if they know what they're doing with their QB position. I'm glad I'm not them. I'm glad I'm not the Jets. Like there's a lot of teams that I'm glad we're in better situations in.
Yeah, I feel for Atlanta for sure. Listen, guys, Tua's superpower is getting the ball out quick and understanding defense is anticipation. So to the Atlanta fans that are watching the rebuild, there is some good with Tua, but do not expect him to. If someone is in his face, he struggles. Was his MO. If you give him a good old line, you give him time, he can read a defense and he can throw it the best. Just as good as anybody. But it's going to be interesting to watch. I don't think we play Atlanta. I was hoping maybe we would play them this year just to go against them. But it will be very interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, my mind immediately went to like fantasy football value for that team, and I was like,
what do you think of Malik's fantasy value?
Malik's fantasy value probably went up, but I mean, he's still. I don't know if he's a top 10 fantasy QB.
Yeah, I was looking. Yeah, he's kind of like that lower tier, but who knows? We'll see.
For a quarterback.
Yeah, for quarterback. Yeah,
for a quarterback, then
like QB1, like lower end of the QB1 style, but
yeah. I mean, I think, and for on Atlanta side, I think Bijan's still going to be fine for fantasy. Yeah. Like Drake London is probably the one that's probably going to be the most questionable. I still wouldn't pick Tua for fantasy though either. But
are you buying a Malik jersey?
Am I buying a blue? No. If I get another jersey, it's going to be a Waddle or Achane jersey. I want to get a black one. I can't find the black one anywhere.
Dude, I can't believe we got him. I can't believe it. Like, I for sure thought the Cardinals were in play, but again, now that I'm thinking about it, I just think that was a smokescreen, man. Like, I just think it was as soon as they made that Minka trade and I thought about it, I was like, okay, they made their move for Malik, and I thought it would happen a lot sooner. I didn't think it would take till 1 p.m. Eastern when the news broke or whatever. But
yeah,
did you hear him on Pat McAfee? My quarterback already is working out. He was on the field. He got done with his workout, got on Pat McAfee. Like, that's my quarterback. He's not on the yacht partying like Tua was the last couple of years. My quarterback is training and getting ready for that season.
Yeah. No, it was good to see. It was good to see on the field. Grew the hair out.
Yes, he's got the dreads. Like, dude.
Yeah.
So Miami. I love it.
I almost wonder if he's ready for the Miami media, though. That would be the thing. He just seems right now, he just seems so raw, so innocent. You know what I mean? But our expectations aren't high. So maybe the media is a little bit nicer to him. We'll see.
Yeah, like I said, guys, we will wrap it up here. It was a wild day. There were a lot going on, but we got the big fish that I think most fans and the team wanted in the quarterback. I think we got the right guy, and again, it's not going to hurt long-term vision. It's a 2-year thing, and let's see what happens. Let's support this guy. We got some excitement. There's some joy to look at this season because a couple days ago it looked like it was a complete shit show. So we got our guy. We're going to stay tuned. We're going to see what happens for the next couple days in free agency. But this is the rebuild we will be on later in the week, and we appreciate all the support. Have a good night. See you guys.
See ya.